Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Jeremy Steele. This past weekend, I was serving on the committee for the Lafayette Chamber of Commerce Art and Wine Festival. This is an annual event, and it's just spectacular. We get about 70 to 100,000 people at this event over the period of Saturday and Sunday. Well, I'll tell you, there's about, 20 or 30 people on our committee, and the amount of work that goes into this is incredible. We were roaming around all day Saturday and all day Sunday, helping out, making sure that everything is running smoothly, attending to any safety events or emergencies that came up, also keeping the place clean and tidy and nice. And we must have had a couple hundred volunteers help out as well. Anyway, it was really hard on our bodies, really hard on our bodies. We're on our feet for, maybe about 30 to 48 hours. And so it's really hard on our bodies. So there's a few things that I do to help me recover from big events like this, where we're working really hard, both physically and mentally. So the first thing I do is I make sure I get good chiropractic care. If I have a strong spine, my nervous system is working properly, then my nervous system can control everything in my body properly. So one of the first things I do, nice and easy, is just simple spinal rotations here. Now, I didn't get any back pain during the festival or afterwards, but I did get a few other things. I have an old injury in my right knee from skateboarding as a kid that tends to come back every now and then, and my ankles as well from skateboarding and playing basketball. I must have sprained them 10 to 20 times at different points in my life. So the reason I do this twisting is just to keep my discs moving, my discs hydrated. I'm not forcing anything. I'm just getting a nice range of motion here, just to keep my spine nice and healthy and the joints lubricated. 24 bones in the spine, and each one needs to be nice and lubricated, nice and healthy, so that they can slide, move properly. The next thing I do is I gave a couple of these away yesterday, so I only have one left. A nice tennis ball. Sometimes people use lacrosse balls. You can use any type of ball. Just make sure it's got some give on it. It's not too firm, and it's not going to jab into you and really hurt you. There's a lot of different ways to roll out your body. You can use foam rolls like this. You can use a tennis ball like this, nice and easy. These are about $1 a piece or so. So I really like to work on my shoulder blades for all the muscles for my rotator cuff. A lot of people have damaged shoulders because of and rotator cuff injuries because the muscles have been damaged over time and they don't stabilize the joint as well. The rotator cuff muscles are supposed to suck the humerus, which is this bone, into the joint so that when we move, the joint glides properly instead of rolling up the joint and forward and back and sliding around improperly, creating pain, discomfort, eventually degeneration to the rotator cuff and the muscles and to the joint itself. So I'll show you how I do that. Let me tilt this down a little bit. I'll go onto the table here. So I just put this on the floor, or on the table here, and I'll get it right in my back of my shoulder blade there. And I'm just rolling around, and when I find a spot that's a little tender, I'll hold that for 5-10 seconds. Find another spot that's a little tender, hold that for 5 to 10 seconds. When I was a kid, I damaged my shoulder, and this is something that really helped the muscles to recover a little bit faster. So I just roll around in there and get all those different muscles, even into my deltoids in the back of my arm, and just holding those for 5 to 10 seconds at each little tender spot that you find. Another one is for the hip stabilizers. Lots of people have hip problems, knee problems, foot problems. Sometimes when we have low back problems and hip problems, those can really stem from the bones being shifted out of place. And then what happens is the muscles contract and tighten and they don't work properly. They don't stabilize the hip properly, and they don't stabilize the low back properly. So there's 6 of them right in here, 6 deep muscles. And so you just take that and you get it right under your glutes or right on your glutes, and you just kind of roll around a little bit. Now, if you do feel any zinging or nerve kind of pain or shooting pain down your leg, you want to stop doing this right away. But this is something you can do on the ground or on a chair, and you just roll around and you find those real tender spots on the glutes or the deep 6 muscles under the glutes, the stabilizers, and you just hold those. This can help relax the muscles. It's not going to put the vertebrae or the hips really back in place so much, but it's going to help with the muscles a little bit. Good. Every time we do that, we're squeezing out old blood, old stagnated fluid that is within the muscles, and also breaking up any adhesions that might be created in there. Okay. So the next thing is foam roller. I do this on my legs. So I'll do it with the calves, but I do it all around the leg, not just one particular area. A lot of people just focus on their IT band. Really, the IT band, when the IT band is tight, or the iliotibial band here is tight, a lot of people think, oh, well, we got to just stretch out the IT band. Well, the IT band is not a muscle. It's not something you stretch out. The reason it gets tight is more often than not because of problems in the feet causing problems in the knees. The biomechanical shifts that take place translate up here, and now our hips go out of place. And so when our hips are pulling and our knee is pulling, then it tightens up that band. That band is there for stability, but the muscles underneath that band also need some help too. So I take this, if I'm doing the IT band, I always like to start low and move up high, so I'm squeezing the blood back to my heart versus squeezing the blood down into my legs. Okay? So we'll start here, just doing the IT band area. And we can do this several different ways. So I go up slowly, find a tender spot, go up slowly, find a little bit of something else. So I'll do that on the side. Then I might do the front a little bit, the front of my leg, just at different angles, just a few different passes. And you can go all the way up to your hip and your high hip bones there. And you can do the lower leg too. The ankle stabilizers are on the side of the leg here. There's some pretty powerful ankle stabilizers here. If we have poor structure in our feet, there's 26 bones in our feet. So those need to move accordingly so that you have a good structure and a good biomechanical integrity moving up your body. If the bones are shifted or the feet aren't working properly, then what's going to happen, those stabilizer muscles are going to spasm, and there's going to be adhesions that are created between the muscles, not allowing the muscles to glide and not allowing the bones the fibula and the tibia to glide properly and move properly when you walk. So you have more mechanical stress. It's like you're just stressing the bones and the joints moving up your body, and that will cause problems up your body, up into the spine, and sometimes even up into the neck as well, because that stress is translated when we walk, run, or exercise. So we can get on the side here. And again, I like to start low, and you just squeeze on up there. It's hard to get a lot of pressure on this area just because of the nature of it. But if you kind of work it in a certain way, you can get a little bit. Good. And then also on the front of the leg as well. We can do that here, starting low and then coming up high. All right, so we can do all those areas. We can also use this for the shoulder as well. If you don't have a tennis ball and you just have that, but tennis ball works a lot better. Also stretching, just to get the muscles warmed up, especially in the morning. Getting things moving a little bit, get your blood circulating, squeezing out any stagnant fluid or stagnant blood in the area from those chronic muscle spasms that may have happened due to different workouts that you've done, or just working at events like the Art and Wine Festival all weekend. So you just squeeze in there. Then I like to do ankle rotations, standing, sitting, whatever. This just gets me warmed up for my day. As a chiropractor, I'm working with people all day, so I'm moving all day long. I find that when I warm up in the morning, I feel much better at the end of the day. My body feels great. I have much less aches and pains, if any at all, and it just feels a lot better. I'm able to help people better and serve people better if I'm in shape myself. Stretching the arms as well. We must have I must have thrown over 100 trash bags into the dumpster that we had available. With that many people, you can imagine that's a lot of trash. Good, doing these stretches here as well. I won't go through everything for the sake of time. I also do stretches for my wrists, rotations here. I like to pull back here. This stretches all the flexors and the extensors. Good. Both sides there. Another important reason why I didn't have as much problems going on as I thought I was going to have is because I have a strong spine, but also because I have proper posture in the way that I lift, okay? So when you're lifting, if I'm lifting something, I want to make sure that my core is tight, that my back muscles are tight, and I'm using my knees and my legs. When I'm bending down, my toes are pointing whatever I'm picking up. I'm not twisting to pick something up, but I'm bending forward and picking something up straight. And then when I'm throwing something into the trash or lifting 3 boxes of wine at a time or whatever it might be, I'm using my body here so that I can lift and be strong. I'm tightening my core, tightening my low back, tightening my legs so that I have the muscles are stabilizing the joints to the best of their ability. Also, I like to keep my head back and not forward. When my head is forward, when your head moves forward, you lose stability not only in your neck, but you lose stability in your entire body. If you have a properly aligned neck and upper back, and you're going to have more strength throughout your entire body. Your body's just going to feel better. It's going to move better. You're going to be stronger. At the base of your neck here, at the top of your neck, there is the bones that surround your brain stem. The brain stem is part of the brain that controls all of the autonomic systems within your body. These are all the automatic functions that we don't think about. Right now, I'm not thinking about my body doing anything, but right now it's probably digesting some of the breakfast that I had. It's creating some tone within the muscles of my legs. All of the 200 or so stabilizer muscles in my spine, 200 muscles in my spine that are working right now just to keep me upright. Remember, 80% of your brain's energy just goes to automatic functions. And a lot of that is just keeping us upright so we don't fall over. If we have loss of integrity in our spine, then we don't have the ability to hold ourselves up the best that we can. So those are just a few of the things I do. There's a ton of different things you can do to stay healthy, including diet and breathing exercises. Those are just a few things that I do to help myself stay healthy, especially recovering after such a big event such as the Art and Wine Festival. I hope this helps you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and best of luck in your recovery from whatever it is that you're doing in your life. I wish you the best.